Hey guys, Dylan Sider with Kinfolk Carpentry here, and today I want to talk to you about 5 specific tools that have helped me with productivity and quality that I wanted to recommend. And in the meantime, throughout the video, I'm working on my laundry room space. On my last video, you saw me install this floor, and today I'm installing a countertop. I picked this countertop up last weekend and edge banded it, and I'm just going to be building a shelf along here and putting in an end panel with some trim. So I'm working on that, and I've got a little bit of shoe molding to do also. So stick around as I talk about some tools and work on my mudroom laundry room. First tool I'm going to talk about is levels, which I keep all my levels up here. And it's a very specific type of level, and that is Stabila levels, very specific. I feel like I've had lots of different levels. I've had DeWalt levels, I've had Johnson levels, and the reason I'm recommending Stabila, they are definitely more expensive, but they are quite a bit more accurate than a level you're just going to find at Home Depot. The key here is right here. You're going to see, right here. So here's a better shot of it. Right here, this is kind of like your accuracy reading. It's accurate to a 0.029 of a degree to keep it level. I really do like the vials in them. I think they are very easy to read. But the biggest difference is if you put a Johnson level on something, it's reading level. And then you put a Stabila on, you're gonna notice that these are a lot more reactive to moving up and down than your traditional level. So it's gonna make things a lot more accurate when you're using a Stabila. I'll also say they are way more durable than another level as well. They'll take drops, they'll take a beating compared to other ones. You let a 6-foot cheap level slide down a wall and hammer on the floor, you could knock it at a level and that thing's useless. Whereas a Stabila, I've dropped them off of tons of stuff, and when you check them for level again, they still hold true, which is great. And when I say you check something for level, you basically hold it on a wall, mark a level line, and then you flip the level over like this and check the line. If it's still reading level, you know your level is still good. So that is my first recommendation, is Stabila levels. They're worth the money. The second tool I want to recommend is a track saw. They come in handy when you're doing cabinetry or flooring or any sort of finish work. They are invaluable. I feel like people don't pull the trigger on them because any name brand is going to run you like $400, but you almost have to treat it like a table saw or a miter saw. It's a big investment, but it saves you a ton of time, and they're very handy to have. You've probably seen me use it 100 times on my YouTube channel, and that is my recommendation. This one, I've had it about 8 years. I bought it before the craze of cordless tools. DeWalt and Milwaukee and even Makita didn't have a cordless version when I bought this, but now they all have them, and I haven't replaced this one with cordless because it still works, and if it's broke, don't fix it, right? If it's not broke, you don't need to fix it. So yeah, so track saw, they come in very handy. Track saw, baby. Hello in there.
Hello.
What are you doing?
Hello.
Hello. The third tool on my list I want to talk to you guys about, and I'm really shocked that I've never talked about this tool on my channel, is the Milwaukee Detail Sander. I've had this thing a few years, probably 3 years, and I use it a ton. So what actually inspired this video is a guy was giving me a hand. He was running his own job and I was running my job. He was just coming to my job to work with me for a few days. And I was like, don't worry about bringing all your tools over. Just bring a drill and hand tools and you can use whatever tools I have. And he needed to sand out a miter on some casing he was doing. And I was like, I gave him this thing and he used it just sparingly for the day, sanding out baseboard seams and things like that. And he went out and bought one because he liked it so much. And I was like, you know, it'd be nice to do a video on something that is like some specific tools that I think would be great for carpenters to make them more productive and things. And this is one of my favorites. The Milwaukee M12 Detail Sander is great for any sort of finished carpenter or remodeler. It really is an awesome tool. I would probably actually use an orbital in this application, but since we're doing a video on this, I thought I'd get this a little bit prepped for paint by using the Milwaukee. I really do think this Milwaukee might be worth just like a review on my channel because it's such a handy tool. I'll probably be putting that out at some point, a tool review on it. All right, working my way through here. Got this panel installed, got my countertop level to a cleat on that side, and I have a support in the middle here. So working through that, you can see I'm using my Stabilo levels. But moving on, the fourth helpful tool I think people should own is a 7 1/4 inch miter saw. This is the saw I'm currently using. It's the Makita 7 1/4 dual slider. This was in my last video. I talked about this. It'll cut 12 inches. That's why I like it so much. All right, when it comes down to miter saws, the two I use the most are just a 12-inch straight chop, like no slider. I love it for crown and really detailed trim work. I feel like it's very accurate. That's what I don't like about the slider. Sliders, you can tend to kind of pull and push as you're coming out from the fence of the saw. They become a little more inaccurate, and typically I don't need a slider, especially now with my 7 1/4 that'll cut 12 inches. I really don't need that large depth in a bigger saw. The reason I like a small saw is they're very easy to haul around. They're lightweight. They're easy to get in and out of houses without banging into stuff. And in my world, there's not a huge need for a massive saw. I'm not cutting huge 2x12s often. So I pair it with this, the straight chop, and my little saw goes right in here. And those are the two I typically use, but I really do think there's a purpose in having a small saw. I remember like 10 years ago, before I had one, I used to see them on job sites like flooring contractors, and random people would have a small saw, and I thought they were very goofy. I was like, they serve no purpose, like why not have a bigger saw? But as I get older and I'm loading in and out of a truck all day, every day, and in and out of job sites, and I'm like, you are hauling such a heavy thing in and out of job sites just to cut small stuff, even like shoe mold and things like that. There's no purpose in having such a huge saw. It's so much overkill. It's nice to have something just small that you can make accurate cuts with, that you don't have to, carry that big thing around all the time. And tons of companies make them. Every company almost has a small miter saw. I use the Makita. I also have a DeWalt cordless, which I really like, but I do prefer the Makita that can cut bigger depths. But, they all have them. Bosch, Milwaukee, they all have a small saw, and I think they're very handy. My fifth and final tool is a small power planer. I think every carpenter I know owns a power planer, but very few guys I know own like a small one this small. And the reason the small comes in handy is for scribing and for finish work. It is so much easier to maneuver. This is one of my favorite uses for this little planer, is when I run stuff through the table saw, just to take the saw marks off. I just take it, set it to like minimal, like less than a 32nd of an inch, and just and boom. Nice, clean, and no sanding needed, and it's perfect for like a small little face frame like that to just clean up the edge. I use it all the time for like scribing countertops and stuff. This little planer is made by Milwaukee, but I think there's only one other company that makes a tiny one like this, and it's Bosch. I do find them very handy for lots of things, and I find them more useful than a bigger power planer. I actually don't even own a bigger power planer. I mostly use this as a finish tool, not as a framing tool, but this would definitely be added to my 5 favorite things. Use it all the time for all different applications, and I have a full review on this on my channel if you want to check it out. I actually had somebody in my scribing video ask what tool I was using to scribe with, and this is it right here, so check it out. That's the idea right there. Get that all built. All right, I'm wrapping this up. Needs a little bit of fine tuning and paint, but for a budget friendly option, that's what I was going for. Thanks for sticking around, and I hope you got some things to add to your tool list. My 5 favorite things that make me a little more efficient and add to the quality of the finished product. We'll see you on the next video. Peace.